we are super committed to building revenue share for agents in our team now. And Gene has taken the time today to spend 15, 20 minutes with us and tell us his story and also how we can participate with him. So if we could just roll that, is the audio with that?
No, it's okay. Don't do that.
Right. So let's welcome Gene Frederick. Everybody give Gene a welcome. Welcome, sir.
Hey, thank you guys. Can you hear me all real well?
Yes, we can. We're all attentive.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And I noticed I've only seen a few pictures that I can actually see live. Rich, thank you for showing yourself live. Everybody else has their good pictures up. But what I want to do is share about 5 or 10 minutes of how this thing got started with EXP with me. And then I would like to, if I can, Annette, and you just share with everybody, you can ask me any question about revenue share or about why EXP is growing, okay? Let me start off with a story. I love the stories. If you guys can, if you could take 5 or 10 minutes, I know I can't see all of you, but if you could just give me 5 or 10 minutes of your attention. And I'm sorry, I hear some background there, but try to get a pencil and paper, and I'm going to give you some stats, some stuff that can really, really help you. Now, I'm going to start off. It was actually in 2013. We were going to Tahoe, my wife and I, because we were celebrating one of her birthdays. It was a 0 at the end for all you women. I don't say what 0 it was, but it was a good 0. And I was going to be with about 5 or 6 of our best friends and their significant others. And on the plane ride, I don't know about you guys, but I think unbelievably well on plane rides. I don't know why. It's where I have all my inspiration, Andrew. I don't know what it is. I just inspire myself on plane rides. I wrote a business plan for a new real estate company. Now, at that time, I'd been in business 29 years in real estate. RE/MAX in the 80s, Keller Williams at that time for 20 years. But I said, what if there was a new real estate company? Something that revolutionized the way brokerages were run. And I wrote this business plan out. Now, what's funny is when we got to Tahoe, I asked my wife, I said, can I share this with some people? Guess what I did? Of course, our dearest friends at that time were Keller Williams people, regional directors, owners of Keller Williams offices, top real estate agents for Keller Williams. And I shared with them a business plan to start a new brokerage that would just revolutionize the industry. Different than Century 21, different than RE/MAX, different than Keller Williams, different than Coldwell Banker. Guess what happened? Every single one of them said, Gene, if you start that model, I'll join you. This is 2013. Guess what happened a year later? I took those notes, put them away. A year later, I met a gentleman named Glenn Sanford. He came to Austin, Texas. He showed me his model. And you know what I said? I said, Susan, he stole my model. I went back to, I took out my notes and I said, he took my note. Now, you know what all the people said, Andrew, basically that were there in Tahoe said, Gene, if you start that model, I'll follow you. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Guess what happened? I met Glenn and I said, Glenn's done it. He had started it in 2009. I met him in 2014.
Yeah.
The company had 300 agents. And here's the 2 things, here's the 3 things that he did that I knew would revolutionize the way brokerages run the business, right? Number 1, virtual. Number 1, we had to go virtual and get rid of all the Century 21 offices. By the way, RE/MAX, I think, has 4,200 offices. So you can imagine the overhead of running all that. Number 2, since we got rid of 70 to 80% of the expenses of running a real estate company, guess what happened? Glenn said, Gene, we can share half of that with the agents who help us grow. I said, that's what I wrote down. It was called revenue share. Yeah. I said, the sucker stole my model. The only thing is, you know, great minds think alike. And then the third thing that I never thought of, quite honestly, and this is why I followed Glenn into this adventure. He says, Gene, I've got a corporation. I did a reverse merger on a company in Canada. We own a company, and everybody on this call can have stock in our company. And I went, whoa. I was with Keller Williams for 20 years. Gary Keller never offered me stock. Dave Linegar never offered me stock at RE/MAX. You mean I can own part of the company just by being an agent and selling real estate? And he goes, yeah. I said, dude, you've changed everything. 5 months later, I joined. By the way, Andrew, just so you know, in the May 1st, 2015, I joined, and there were 450 agents at EXP.
Wow.
Okay.
10 years
Now,
ago, 10.5 years ago.
right. Now, what Glenn didn't understand is who he had just gotten in business with.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, and the reason is because I was very confident. I knew how to recruit real estate agents. I'd been doing it for Keller Williams. By the way, I was 6 times, I was the #1 recruiter for Keller Williams nationwide. The only reason I tell you that is Andrew, I was excited hearing all those numbers. I was pumped when you guys were going, man, you sold this, you did that. Congratulations to everybody on this call that you guys are producing real estate. That's what we want to do. Put families into homes. I mean,
Yeah.
what a great business we're in. But I'm going to share with you today another thing you can do to earn money, which is attract real estate agents. Okay. And I used to tell people it was like listing homes or whatever. It's not. It's totally different. So I have to teach you some little tricks of the trade so you can actually, what I want you to do is basically you can attract real estate agents while you're selling all these homes, while you're going purple. I loved all the colors, by the way, all the purple and thing. I was trying to think of a different color. Maybe I can think for revenue share, it's diamonds. It's diamonds. It's totally different color. So let me explain to you how it works. Very, very simple, because Annette wanted me to give you just a simple example. Let's say you attract an agent. When I say that attract, you actually, all you need to do is invite them to take a look at our system. If I was you guys, I don't know how you're going to set it up, but Annette's phenomenal. I would just invite them to talk to Annette. If I was you, I wouldn't try to do it all yourself. I wouldn't try to do the presentation myself. I would let Annette do it. I would let me do it. Just so you know, I've been doing this for a long time. You don't have to do it. You just have to say, hey, have you ever looked at our model? I know you're at Coldwell Banker forever. Have you ever looked? No. Well, let me just, I wouldn't put any pressure. We're not trying to recruit you. Just take a look at our model. See if it's any different you'd like to look at. I mean, it's that simple. I don't want you to complicate things. So you get them to Annette or myself or Lou Ronayne. And what we could do is share with them our model in detail. Now, let me give you an example for all you guys on the call. Let's say somebody comes over and they were a Coldwell Banker agent, a good agent, always selling real estate, doing $5 to $10 million a year. Let's say they make one sale, and I'm trying to give you an example of how much money it could be in your pocket. They make a sale of, and I put it down here, I hope you don't mind, $20,000 in commission.
Okay.
Okay. You guys are in California, most of you. You guys, $20,000 in commission is a normal $666,000 sale.
That's a parking space. It's when we sell a parking space.
That's right. So you make $20,000. That agent that you recruit from Coldwell Banker gets a $20,000 commission. Since we've gone virtual, since we've gotten rid of all the expenses, we take half the money that goes to EXP, and we give that as part of revenue share. Now, how much would you get? You would get 17.5% of the 20,000. Now, the reason I don't do percentages a lot, Andrew, is they confuse people. What I tell them is if you got somebody making a $20,000 commission, you would get $350. I don't know about you, but I like that. It's a thank you. It's a referral. It's kind of like, thank you for bringing Mary, Mary, whatever her name is. Mary came to us. EXP wants to say thank you, $350 to you, because you know why? Because we can. Because we can. Now, we've been doing this for 10.5 years I've been here. Now, let's say Mary does 4 of these, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Now she's done 80,000 in commissions. That's all we take from her. After that, it's 100%. So if she makes 200,000, the next 120,000 goes directly to her. We don't make any more money at EXP or any more revenue share. But if you take 350 times 4, what is that? $1,400. So what I want you to think of is, as you're doing real estate and you're selling homes with other people, just go, wow, that person's $1,400 to me every single year for the rest of, as long as they sell real estate. Think of that. Guys, as a thank you, EXP is going, thank you for bringing that person here.
Mm.
That's all you have to do. Let EXP take over from there. Now, let's say, I'm glad I see some pictures now. You guys are so cute. You guys are cute on here. Steve gets Mary. Okay. Now, Mary has a friend at Coldwell Banker that comes. Steve, you don't even know Mary's friend, but she would be in your second level, Steve. You know what's exciting about that? We're going to give you part of what Mary's friend does. Okay. It goes 7 levels deep. Now, don't get too detailed on this call. All I want you to say is, wow, you mean I can get Mary and Mary gets, Ted? I don't even know who Ted is. Ted could be in another state. Ted could be in another city.
Right. So like we're going to Phoenix this year, Gene, and then we're going to Dallas. All this is going to happen before January. So
Oh,
how would that affect the agents here? Because we need people to take leads in those areas. We don't have agents there.
go find an agent. Go find an agent in that area. In fact, my license has been in Dallas for 40 years.
Mm.
I've got a broker's license in Texas. I sold real estate in DFW. Love to help you guys out. If you've got leads there, I'll talk to any of them for you.
So brother, any agent here could reach out to any agent in any company or run a ad or whatever they want to do in Dallas, and then
Yep.
the same revenue share would apply.
Yeah, I would run ads to attract them to your team, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're doing.
Yes.
And as you attract them to your team, they'll be selling real estate. You'll get rev share. It's that simple.
Well,
I know all.
I'm going to interrupt you just for a second because I want everybody to understand this. He's kind of a humble man, so he's not going to tell you this. But think about this. He's done this 10 years. And I heard a couple of things about Gene that are amazing. The first year, I think you made 3 presentations a day, 6 days a week. Is that correct?
Yeah, just very consistent.
Right. So very consistent, right? He did this without a great return, I don't think, in the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Give people a rough idea, sir, of how many people are in your organization now as a result.
Well, here's kind of cool. Since there were only 450 agents when I started,
Yes.
I literally think I have about 75 to 80% of the whole company underneath me.
56,000 people.
But I only get paid on about 14 or 15,000 of those
I
because
feel
it only
really
goes
bad
7
for you.
levels. Yeah,
So
only 7 levels.
Yeah, we'll pass the bucket in a minute.
Yeah.
So you get paid on 14,000 people. And in that, if you don't mind me asking, so I heard you say this, so I know it's not private. At the end of the first year of doing this, how much money had you made in revenue share at the end of the first year?
Well, this is very important because you got to understand that the revenue share is going to build.
Yes.
It's a long-term thing.
Yes.
I made $39,000 my first 12 months at EXP, but of the $39,000, woohoo, 11,000 of it was my 12th month. And I told Susan, I said, Susan, I don't think I'm going to make, now listen to this. I don't think I'm going to make less than 12,000 in a month ever again in my life.
Mm.
Now, I've been in real estate sales forever. Some months you sell homes, some months you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? 12 more months goes by, my second year. Instead of $39,000 in the whole year, I think I made $250,000. But of the 250,000 in my second year,
Okay.
but in the 24th month, I made 46,000 of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Susan, I don't think I'm going to make less than 46,000 in a month ever again in my life. Now, being a real estate agent forever, that's really hard to tell folks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think people really struggle with that whole idea of how it accrues, Gene, because it's so different to what most of us experience. And that's why I wanted you to share with the team. We work really hard with these people, Gene.
Right.
And
right.
You saw on the board, these people are working hard selling real estate. And I know that you have a key that our team has not really used. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go back to your presentation, but I want them to see how extensive this accrual is. And maybe there's 1 at the beginning or 2 at the beginning or 3 at the beginning. Please coach us further. I promise I won't interrupt.
Well, the best thing about this is when you're getting paid on 7 levels, the most exciting part of it is that you're going to have people on your 6th or 7th level you don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how fast this grew for me. Mm. Now, this is my first couple of years, and EXP was just starting.
Yeah.
Within 2 years, I was getting paid on my 7 levels in all 50 states. Now, see, that blew me away. I went, how did that happen? You've
How
got to
many
let
states,
it.
how many states did you go to though, Gene? You said you were
I
being
really,
paid in all 50. How many of those 50 states did you have to go to make that happen?
oh, I only went to about 5 or 6.
Out of 50.
Yeah, yeah. I only went to 5 or 6. I did a tour across the Midwest one time. Went and saw Lou. Came across to Ohio. Went through St. Louis. The main thing that I kept, really started it in Texas. Quite honestly, I stayed in Texas pretty much my first couple years.
Mm.
Just went from Austin to San Antonio to Dallas to Houston. The main thing is people know people. If you guys ever read The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, it's probably the #1 sales book on earth. You don't even know who it is. Most people don't. It was written 25 years ago. There's connectors, mavens, and salespeople that run the whole world. Do you know that? A connector is someone like me that knows a lot of people. I'd been in the business 29 years, 30 years when I found EXP. So when they went, well, Gene, just use your connections. I know people who know people, right? Remember, the 2 degrees, what is it, Kevin Bacon?
Yep.
2 degrees of everybody.
Yes.
That's what a connector is. So once you find a connector, your first recruit could be a connector, and then it blows up. They know people who know people who know people who know people. Mm-hmm. Salespeople are the same way. I mean, you guys call me today. It's funny. I live in Puerto Rico now. But right now I'm in Breckenridge, in my home in Breckenridge. But you call me in Breckenridge, where's the best place to eat? I don't ask for a referral fee. What do you want? Oh, I want sushi. Go here. I want steak. Go here. I tell you the best places. I don't ask for money. I'm a connector. That's what connector. We do this. This is who we are. It's just our life, right? Realtors are connectors. Believe me. You guys connect them to everybody in the industry, right? When you sell homes, don't you have to know where the synagogues are, the mosques are, the churches are? You have to know where everything is. You connect them with everything, right? That's who we are. So the only reason I tell you that, it starts off slow. Here's what I will tell you. Please don't have the fear of asking an agent, how's your business? They'll start talking. If you let people talk, and here's the word I want you to write down that's the key to recruiting real estate agents. You must have this. It's called empathy. You have to have empathy. All I do is I think about that other person. How's your life going? What's going on? How's it going at Coldwell Banker? I have empathy. How's it going? Well, I need more sales. Really? Well, we've got some things maybe you should look at. Oh, I really don't. They just start talking about themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't try to recruit them to what we have. I listen to them, find out what they need, and then give them to Annette or Lou or me, and we solve it for them.
Gene, local Coldwell Banker office here. So Annette and I moved into a place in Murrieta off Clinton Keith, I don't know, 22 years ago. Yes. And there was a Coldwell Banker office that opened 11,000 square feet 11 years ago, Gene, right on the freeway. Last year, they vacated that building and moved into a building of 1,200 square feet. And 2 months ago, that building of 1,200 square feet closed down. And that particular branch has been here 30 years, Gene.
Well, they owned a Blockbuster. They owned a Blockbuster. Yes. I tell folks, guys, I kid you not. I was in a real estate office. I've been at EXP 10.5 years now. And somebody at a big real estate company, I can't tell you who, he goes, I want you to meet me at my office. I go, cool. I walked into this office. Andrew is so funny. I said, God, I haven't been to a Blockbuster in a long time. This is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And he starts laughing. I said, you guys really have? Nobody's here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nobody was there. I said, here. Well, I can't bring it to you. I'm watching you on my cell phone. Yeah. In 2007, our industry changed. It was when the smartphone was invented. Yeah. Smartphone. In other words, I literally can take this smartphone and write contracts, negotiate deals, whatever. Right? 100%. I didn't
do everything on our cell phones. We do a training here called Digital Footprint. The agents run their businesses from their cell phones.
Right. So once that happened, I knew our business, somebody was going to go virtual. That's us. Somebody who was going to have a metaverse. That's us. Mm-hmm. I can get stuff answered like this in the metaverse. So the industry's changed how we're doing it. Glenn, and I thank Glenn a lot for setting it up. I mean, I could have started my own company, Andrew, once I met Glenn, but I went, wait, this dude's already done it.
Yeah.
And he is sharp. You know what
Yeah.
I'm going to do? I'm joining him.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
we've got
Gene,
almost 90,000 agents worldwide right now
yeah,
in 30 countries.
something, maybe we can just chat about this for a minute. Always you see upstart companies like Amway was a huge thing in the 60s. A lot of the kids in the room barely know what Amway is, but you and I saw it come up. Then after Amway came Herbalife, and after Herbalife, you remember,
Yep.
these came New Skin. After New Skin came NSA. And there's always these upstarts. And here, this rock solid company is still there, Amway, that still dominates that side of an industry, right? And you see upstarts in our business. In the 40 years I've done it, upstart every 5 minutes. What I love about EXP now is the fact that there's just tremendous stability, value, strength of leadership. And the opportunity is exactly the same as at the beginning, if not greater, but the stability is there. And I don't think I've watched people in my life, Gene, join something that's there for 2 years and there for 3 years, and it looks all sexy for 3 years, and then it's gone. There, EXP has etched a place in a granite rock called the real estate business, and it's not going anywhere. I'd like you just to touch on that for a minute, because people listening to you, some of the people on this call are going to change their lives as a result of this call. Some are going to make that decision in their minds, this is for me, and they're going to become etched in granite. So let's just touch on that stability piece as well, for a minute. Can we please?
Sure. We have built this. I was on the board of directors for the company for 7 years. I got off 3 years ago.
Okay.
But we've literally done this with zero debt. Think of it right now. You go to the stock market and call your broker today, your stockbroker, and say, what company should I invest in? He goes, first of all, ones with no debt would be great.
Yeah.
Because when there's a downturn, we have no debt. We literally have zero debt. We don't own any long-term, short-term. It's solid. I mean, we're worth 1.6 billion on the Nasdaq exchange. So what I want you to know is the model works, and it's modeled works so well. I've already got a vision. It's only 10 and a half years. I've only been here 10 and a half years.
Okay.
When I look at this, we're up to 90,000 agents. I've got a path for 500,000. Pretty easy.
There's another thing, mate, that a lot of people don't understand. That when a whole industry's gone through such an adjustment over the last couple of years, and I think there's still 2 more years or 3 of adjustment.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
and people are looking for points of strength. It's like when the flood comes up, you look for something that isn't going to go down under the water. And so there's a tremendous opportunity out of the 1,000,005 agents in America for this second phase of accelerated growth. And honestly, to be selfish, that's why we're bringing you in. Annette and I are investing our money now in Phoenix, in Dallas. We invest roughly $75,000 a month in our facility right here and everything that we do at this facility. We're now going to invest in Phoenix. We're now going to invest in Dallas. And we want the agents who, frankly, we love to come with us, but to benefit themselves, not just to benefit us, right? In those places. And so I'm just really touching on the point that when the water rises, you need something that isn't going to flow down the stream, and that's EXP.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure. And you know what's funny? I looked at it. First to market wins the game. When I say that, Uber,
Yeah.
Uber has 71% of all rideshare.
Yeah. Mhm.
71%. Why? First to market, right? Netflix, even though there's other ones coming after them, guess what? Netflix still dominates, right? We're first to market with a virtual real estate company with two things: revenue share and stock. All the other ones, Coldwell Banker, all the other franchises, oh gosh, Andrew, if I had 5 cents for every owner from a Coldwell Banker that's called me in the last 2 years, every owner from Remax is calling me going, how do I get rid of this? You
They
know,
can't get out of it. Yeah.
how do I get rid of the Blockbuster?
Yeah.
I
So
want to.
can you touch on for a second how everybody listening to this can
Mhm.
accrue stock without, I know you don't like to get too technical, but just in brief, how does
Well,
stock in the company, Gene?
this is the very most simple thing I would do.
Okay.
We set up a system almost like a 401k a few years ago. You can take 5% of your commissions, 5%, and purchase EXP stock with a 5% discount.
Mhm.
First thing I'd do is I'd push that button. It's strictly voluntary. You don't have to do it. But I've met people that have been with us, Andrew, 7 or 8 years that go, Gene, I've got $3.5 million worth of stock. I can't believe this. That's the first thing I do. The second thing I do, because you sponsor agents, if you start sponsoring, every time you sponsor an agent and they close on their first transaction, you get $400 worth of stock. That's kind of cool.
100%.
Guys, 100%. The first time you close on a home, you get $200 worth of stock. You know, so there's certain ways.
But when you hit icon, that's another one, isn't it?
Yeah, if you get an icon agent and they pay in the 16 and they're an icon agent, they do over 500,000 in GCI. I'm doing that one because you're a good, you know, GCI area. If they do over 500,000 in GCI, they pay us 16,000 in company dollar. Then they pay us another 5,000, and they get the $16,000 back in stock. So it's really costing them $5,000 to be here. So I always tell people when I talk to an icon agent, give them to me or Annette or Lou, and we'll explain that to them. And my gosh, I haven't had an icon agent not join in the last 5 years.
You know, 40 years I've done this, and the most common thing I hear agents talk about is what's my split? And after 20 years, they still have no money in the bank unless they got lucky and bought a house and they've got some equity and they've leveraged it, right?
Yep.
40 years, mate, the number of people I've heard say, wow, yeah, I joined XYZ company and I have even 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. You got Mirka up here, Tracy, Jonathan, Thomas, you see at the top of the screen, right? I want them all to be able to say that. Okay, look, I kept you a long time. May we just ask you one more question?
Sure.
Simply to the folks who are watching, how can they get started? And by the way, twice a week, on Tuesday and Friday, darling? Every Tuesday and Thursday, Annette holds a Zoom. It's called Warburton Attraction, right? So you can just go to Warburton Attraction Zoom and log on to it. And she does exactly what you're saying. It happens every Tuesday and every Thursday. What should the agents do in simplicity that they can start drawing people to their revenue share group?
This is as simple. I'm going to teach you a technique. Guys, if you're selling 2-3 homes a month, I saw all those people, my gosh, even one a month.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a technique I've used for agents, and it doesn't, like I said, you're not doing the presentation. Here's what I want you to do. A couple days after you close on a property, I want you to call the other agent or text them. I know texting's a big thing. And say, you know what, Andrew, it was great working with you. Can we meet next Tuesday at 8 o'clock at Starbucks over on University Boulevard? And I'd like to give you a small gift of appreciation. Guess what? 100% of the agents show up. So what do you do at the Starbucks? You give them a small gift. I don't care what it is. Say thank you. It was great working with you. How's business? I want you to talk real estate with that other agent. I want you to get to know them. Guess what they're going to do during that presentation? Steve, they're going to say, how do you like it at EXP? I guarantee you 100% of the time it will happen because you've given them a gift. You said, how's it going at Coldwell Banker? Great. What's your family like? Get to know the other person. Like I said, have empathy. What will happen is they'll go, oh gosh, I want to know about EXP. You go, you know what? On Tuesdays, Annette does a presentation every Tuesday. We call it a luncheon hour. You know, you got to have it. You can do it by Zoom, Andrew, right? And she'll give you all the information. I didn't come today to talk about EXP. I just came to get to know you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Simple.
How many transactions are you doing a month?
We put 38 properties into escrow last month.
If you did 38 of what I just did, Andrew, your company would explode. If everybody did what I just told them, and it wasn't an option, just do it. You would get to know 38 other individuals. And you know, guys, people don't join companies, they join people.
Yes.
Okay? They don't leave companies, they leave people. You've got to get to know them.
Does anybody have a question for Gene?
Yeah.
Chat feed is on in this room. Anybody have questions for Gene? You know, I don't want to embarrass the guy, but you know, this guy has flown past, and you can say he tries to hide it, but you can't. You just go to Google and say how much is Gene Frederick worth. Why don't you go in and just try that? By the way, it's about 200 million short of what he's actually worth. And this is a guy, and I'm not putting down where you were before, a guy who was a millionaire several times over working for Keller Williams. But there's a difference between a millionaire and a bazillionaire. Sorry to sound childish. And this is, and think about this. Look at how old Gene is, maybe 55, would you say? So, so
Yeah, right.
oh, but watch what I'm saying. Let's say 65. Let's not insult the gentleman, right? Younger than me. So think about it. How many people do you know at 55 without taking enormous capital investment jumped from being a millionaire to north of 500 million in 10 years? How many people do you know who've done that? And yet we will go to NAREP events that I love and NAR events that I love and car events that I love. And you see all these people, you know, like this a little bit, like a lot of peacocks, right? And how many of them can say, yeah, some of them, people online are going online right now, Gene, and I can see them in this room, going to Google saying, how much is Gene Frederick worth? It is shocking. And all that he did after all that grinding from Keller Williams was just use these sentences and talk to people. He's the same with us, just this whole empathy piece. So I don't want you to think that's one guy, it can't happen again. It's just absurd. By the way, Gene, I think Leo Robles is in your organization somewhere.
Yep, I love Leo.
So he's started working with us, right? Brought on three
Good.
co-sponsored with us last week, 3 people last week,
Ugh.
right? And listen, Gene, so he has, guys, Leo, I think, has been those 4 or 5 years, I don't know exactly, 1,600 people in his organization. His organization did $5.5 billion business last year. So that is completely different, not to replace. Here's James sitting in the front row, 3 closings last month. How would you like to feel 5 years from now? It's a blink from you, you're so young. 5 years from now, that yes, you're doing your 3 a month. You've got your team and the satellites and all that we talk about. And you look in your account and you see there's $300,000 in stock. You look in your revenue share on your phone and you see that 20 grand just came in on your revenue share in that last month. It's a complete game changer, right? So, and you have the ability to do that. For some reason, Gene, we will go to these events and learn all these sales techniques, which we need to because we're in a sales business, but miss this point. So please understand the power of what this man has done in just a few years. Any questions for Gene? Respect to you, Gene. Any questions?
Let me end with this if I can. Got any questions? I love questions.
Yeah, I'm looking, but I think people are just a little bit overwhelmed by you, to be honest.
Oh, that's okay. Nobody's overwhelmed by me. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You ask 90-year-olds, I read this in one book one time, what do they regret? Right? And there were 3 things that really stuck out to 90-year-olds. Number 1, I should have celebrated more. I love how you started this meeting. I love how you started this meeting. You know, celebrate. I don't know about you guys, but have as much fun with your family and friends. And, you know, the second thing, I wish I would have risked more. You know what? 5 years from now, you're going to meet one of the people on this call that go, all I did is do what Gene said. All I did is do what Gene said. I just had a follow-up meeting with every realtor that I sold a home to.
Yeah.
And gave them a gift. Don't let fear drive you to not risk more. And the third thing that it said was, if you're 90 years old, I want to leave a legacy. I couldn't leave anything for my family. I mean, that has been driving me, Andrew, for a long time. I mean, I don't want, I'm going to be gone years from now, but my gosh, I'm having this weekend, I'm having lunch with my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter. My daughter's with me right now. We're going to have a great day on Thursdays. The bottom line is, they know I want to leave something for them. So that's really, really important. It's not just about making your next house payment. How am I going to, change the Frederick family forever?
I love it. Gene, we just so appreciate you coming today and sharing with us. Annette, is there anything you want to share with Gene?
You're a gem, and we are to have you as part of our organization, for us to be a part of your organization. And I can't wait for more of our agents to get to know you better, because I
Yeah.
even after all this time, and you're, as Andrew puts it, a gazillionaire.
Who knows?
Want
Who
to
knows?
the people.
So by the
right?
way,
I love that.
do you see here that Gabriella says, did you say the profit share amount for a transaction of 660 was 34,000 and just 3,400? Just to clarify.
Yeah, if they make, well, the revenue share, and it's not profit share, that's Keller Williams, but the revenue share on a $20,000 commission for you, if you sponsored them in your first level, you'd make $350.
Yeah.
$350. So that's exciting. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but nobody ever, hey, I'll end with this. I was with Keller Williams for 21 years. Just this year, and I always told people, Gary Keller owned it all. Here's the difference with stock. 70% of our stock is owned by real estate agents. Hello.
Yeah.
We own EXP. I never owned Keller Williams. I was there 21 years. Guess what Gary did this year? Sold out to a private equity firm.
Yeah, that's right.
I asked somebody the other day, how much did he get? They said he got $1 billion. I said, I'm happy for Gary. He deserves that. But the problem was none of the owners of his offices got anything. None of the regional directors got anything. None of the top agents got anything. They weren't partners with Gary.
Yep. Can I ask you really quickly, second level? I know you don't like to do this a lot.
Yes.
Second
No.
percentage?
Yeah, second level, you would make, instead of $350 or $1,400 total, if they're a capper, you make $1,600. So you make $400 on that sale. You make more on the second level than the first.
So Gabriella, this is so important for you because you can tell a girlfriend in Florida, the girlfriend in Florida tells a girlfriend in New York, you don't know the girl in New York. She's on your level too. You make $1,600 that year on it, right?
Yeah.
And Vicky, you mentioned talking to agents. How about brokers? Of course. And I will tell you right now, Gene he's just self-sacrificial. You speak to, in fact, yesterday I had a call from a gentleman who said, look, I'm talking to this group. They're thinking about going to Century 21. They've got 380 agents. They're thinking about going to Century 21. And he's setting up a meeting. Gene will jump in. If you have a broker or you have a team that's doing a number of sales and so on, Gene will jump in on that.
Exactly.
And we'll set up a Zoom. All you got to do is call Annette, send them to the attraction Zoom, or say, hey, I'm talking to XYZ broker, Vicky, and Gene will be on that with Annette. And obviously, I probably won't be because they're way better at this than me, but Gene and Annette will be. And if they're serious, then they'll end up being an EXP.
Well, I always say on my call, you're the process guy, and Gene and I are the people.
So we have to go to the boring part of this now, Gene. I got to get into sales and sales training. Let's say goodbye, but we sure do love you and we sure do appreciate you.
Thank you guys. Love you guys. Be good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Have a great day. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Absolutely.
Rick, I love it.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Guy is so humble. $500 to $600 million he's worth. And 10 years ago, he was worth $3 million. He's just phenomenal. Well, the thing that blew me, I'm whispering like he's the thing that blew me away when I heard his story the first time, that first year he did 2 to 3 a day. He did one at 10, one at 12, one at 2, I think, something like that, right? And imagine his wife, who's used to 700, 800K a year revenue. At the end of the first year, he goes, hey, honey, we earned 39,000. There's not many women who could see that vision. Right? Or men. You understand my point? Because it's like, hey, we got to pay college for the kids. And he just stuck with it. It's that 24th month that he really saw this thing happen. So look, we're here to support you in this. We don't talk much about this here. I believe you deserve to hear it. And if people say to you, oh, it's EXP, they just recruit, you can say, yep, because we want financial security for real estate agents. How many real estate agents do you know right now who are financially secure? Okay. You have anything else to say there?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So let's go forward with additional training, guys. I want to just focus everybody on September. We've got the September Perfect 10 Challenge. How many of you in this room have heard about the September Perfect 10 Challenge? Yep, those of you on the win team. So you're going to hear about it now. I'm going to share it with you briefly. The August breakthrough was so successful, I said, okay, guys, let's do a challenge for September. And you'll see with me, everything that I try to persuade you to do, invite you to do, and encourage you to do is because I know if you do what I invite you to do, you'll make money. The bottom line is, if you hear me talking about something in this team meeting, it's because I know it's an opportunity for you to make money. Now, you could say, well, when you make money, we make money. Yeah, that's capitalism, right? It's not socialism. We make money. Trust me, right now, I would make 3 to 4 times more money if we got rid of all this facility and all of this stress, and Annette and I just called our own database. But we have a vision for something much larger. And part of my life now is like Gene. I want to leave thousands of agents behind who have a legacy. Some of those will, some won't, but a lot will. So we're going to focus you in September again, and I'm going to go over this very quickly. So I asked the Win team at the beginning of August, I said, there's 210 agents, more than that now, who have a team agreement signed with the Warburton team. You know how it is in real estate. Out of those 210, maybe 30, 40 actually sell real estate on a continuous basis. But 210 agents, I said, is it realistic that out of those 210 agents, 15 would sell one property? How many of you think that's realistic? Can I see a show of hands? So almost everybody. How many of you think it's realistic that 15 people would sell 2? Right? Less of you. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Wouldn't you like to change that sadness? Right? Now, you do realize, right, that over $1.6 trillion will be paid out in commissions this year. And when you realize that, you have to think, maybe somebody's messing with my head. Is the market difficult right now? Yes or no? And I'd love for everybody online to join in with me, right? This is not a lecture. This is a coaching session. It's a training session together. So let's post that feed that we can see, okay? So here's what we're proposing. 2 escrows a month, turn possible into probable. How do you turn your uncertainty? You have uncertainty. How do you turn uncertainty into certainty? And I will give you the answer the same way every time. It's system. It's sticking to a system and staying with a system. We have that system. That's why we've grown from 20 agents to 200 agents in 2 years and 3 months, because we have a system. Agents come here and they want the system. And some run with it all the way, some run with it halfway. Do you know how many people buy Nike trainers who weigh 400 pounds? And there's other people who buy Nike trainers who break the 4-minute mile. Still Nike trainers. We got Nike trainers right here. You can either take it and sit with it and watch TV with it, or watch TV half the time or a quarter of the time, but I know the trainers work. Well, how do you know the trainers work? Because trainers that work for me to support 2 women and 2 lots of children for 30 years. So I knew I could not let down either wife. I knew I could not let down either family. And so it was my job to find a system that worked. And that's what I did. So my goal is to turn your possible into probable. Possibility exists for everyone. Probability exists for a few. Is that you? I'd like you to answer me. Is that you? Do you want probability, or do you see this as a possibility? It's the minute you take those Nike shoes, you put them on, you kneel down at the beginning of the track and you say, I'm going to turn this from possibility into probability. At the very least, I'm going to reach the tape and break it. You may not break it first, but the validation of your life isn't about breaking it first. It's about, did you break the tape? Is everybody hearing me? Say back to me what I just said, somebody. What's the validation of your life? Is it breaking the tape first, or is it breaking the tape? How do you validate your life? It's by putting the shoes on and running the race. At the very least, say, there's the tape, I'm going to reach it. If your tape right now is 1 a month, reach it. If your tape is 2 a month, reach it. You cannot run a race unless there's a tape. What's your tape? Turn possibility into probability. When you decide what the tape is, now you can decide what the system is you're going to follow to reach that tape. Is everybody with me? Yes or no? Okay. Probability is not magic. You hear a lot today about hacks. And I'm a complete internet junkie, tech junkie. I don't waste a lot of time on social media. I know a lot of people just absolutely love it. The point is this, everybody wants a hack. How many of you are watching Instagram and somebody pops up and says, all you have to do in TikTok store is do this and you're going to be a bazillionaire? How many of you have seen those guys? They got the necklace, right? They're standing out by a pool. By the way, they borrowed the necklace from somebody they knew who's wealthy and the car's rented in the driveway. But still, you see it and it looks good, right? So it's not magic and it's not a hack. Your September results come from 3 reasons. 1, the quality of connections that you have. 2nd, the quantity of connections that you have. And 3rd, the value you add to those connections. I'd like you for a minute to take a second. And I'd like you on this feed to type in the chat, what value do you add to clients? And I'd like to ask everybody in the room, turn to somebody next to you. And staff and everybody, please, everybody. Turn to somebody next to you and say, the value that I add is 1, 2, 3, go. Do it. Let's go in the feed and send it to me. What's the value that you add? Let's see it. What's the value that you add? So John said undaunting persistence. What value do you add? Right, now turn the other way or behind you and tell somebody else, switch up right now. Ready, steady, go. What value do you add? Tell somebody, what value do you add? What value do you add? I add value by what? Honey? Honey? In purple and go and tell me what value you add. Right there. Do it. All right. So here we go. Let's scroll up. We're calling this Perfect 10 September. Would you like to turn possibility of 2 escrows into probability? Yes or no? Right? I'm just going to tell you flat out what you need to do. You ready? 10 touches a week. You, Andrew, just another one of your ideas. Yeah. Yeah. 12 months a year for 30 years. That's 360 times I've done this. How many times have you done it? I can get you hyped and jumping up and down when I have people coming here with necklaces and earrings and suits and cars they've rented in the driveway. But I'm just going to stand here and tell you the truth. 10 touches a week. Now, a couple of people on the call signed up for this program for this month. By the way, on the Win team is about 35 people who've signed up for it so far. And a couple of them have said to me, Andrew, I don't want to do 10 touches a week. I want to do 10 touches a day. Because there are people here who take 3 to 5 leads a day. By the way, in the last, well, I'll show you later, but in the last 24 hours, we've had 19 new leads come in from social media alone, just from social media, in addition to 10 to 12 additional Zillow leads, 4 to 5 Facebook leads, 4 to 5 Realtor.com leads, 26, I think, or 24 offshore leads, just in the last 48 hours. So we know that we have so much at the top of the funnel. Our major problem right now is finding agents who want to believe in themselves, who will actually believe that if I follow the process that Andrew teaches, that I will convert those. Unfortunately, because of the way the real estate agents have been taught, they feel like, oh yeah, that's too much work. If I do that, I've got to work, and they work a little bit and they stop. And it's just like Gene. Imagine Gene if he'd stopped after 48 months or 24 months. If Gene had stopped after 24 months, he'd be making $35,000 a year. Can I tell you something really, really scary? Gene makes $35,000 every 2 hours. It's a fact. Look him up online. But if he'd stopped after 1 year, he'd be making $35,000 a year. And do you know how bloody hard it was to recruit people to EXP when there were 450 people and everybody said it was Amway and they thought it was crap? Guess somebody in this room who said it was crap when it came out. Can anybody guess? Yeah.
Can I tell a little story?
Yes.
So when I started network marketing for Arbonne, right, in 2005, because I was done with the real estate industry, because I was tired of escrow officers blaming financial friends, blah, blah, blah. My goal was 10 packs a week. So it's an anti-aging skincare company, right? So I had to give out 10 anti-aging sample packs a week. So if I came within 3 feet of you, whether you're in TJ Maxx, in the bank, or Starbucks, you were getting a sample pack from me. So that's what I did. And then every Sunday night, we did our accountability call, and agents, Lauren, who was on my team, who's in the other room, we'd get on the call and say, how many packs you get out? How many meetings did you make? And that's when I created Bam Fam. That was created from Arbonne. And so how many Bam Fams do you have? We go number, 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 number. Let me tell you something. I was in the office yesterday and I screamed out loud, oh my gosh, I just got another consultant from Arbonne that signed up underneath me yesterday. I stopped Arbonne in 2009 because of the metrics and because of the persistency of the touches every single week. I created an organization of over 10,000 people. I still get residuals every month, and I haven't done anything since 2009. So that's why this revenue share and this building teams with EXP can be so big. It's the persistence. It's the 10 touch. Okay, you try and put 10 sample packs in people's hands. I would much rather do real estate than go to TJ Maxx and hand out anti-aging skincare packs to people, right? But I did it because I believed in the dream of extra income and making people feel good. So
Something Annette and I definitely believe in is dreaming and pursuing and fighting for those dreams. So here's the challenge for September. 10 touches a week, 10 buyer or seller conversations with new leads and funnel leads. Now, you know, I always teach you need 2 types of business. One is right now money. Now, how do you get the right now money in real estate? In my 8 power moves for success, everybody tell me, what's the right now money? Money that you know is going to bring you money right now if you do these things. What are they? The power funnel. And what are the things that will get you a result in 30, absolute maximum 60 days? What are those power moves? Guaranteed. And so the power office in an open house, your power office in an open house. Watch the video at members.thewarburtonteam.net. And you go, oh, Andrew, I've heard you say that before. Yeah, but have you done it? And how many times? You have to understand, I was like Gene, when I started this, I did this 3 days a week, every week, for 52 weeks without stopping. Is there any wonder at the end of my first year, I'd made over $160,000?
When we had our own brokerage, Warburton Properties, between 50 and 25 agents, it was required that you do a power open house every Friday, every Saturday, and every Sunday.
You want to make money with us?
It's a requirement to be on our team.
The very best thing I could do with this team right now is just say, okay, everybody's off the team unless you join me on a call every day and tell me you've done your 10 touches. Unless you do a power office open house once a week, unless you do 5 power previews, which is on our power tracker, you're off the team. We'd end up with 12 people. We'd do the same volume we do now. Everything else is like it's there for you when you're ready. The question is, I know there's a lot of people in the real estate industry who don't need to make money right now. Spouses make money for them. They got investments, whatever. But if you wanted to make money right now, what I teach is how you will make money right now. The choice is, do you want to believe and you want to do it? 10 touches a week. I'm encouraging you guys, have faith again in the industry that you're in. Has it taken a hammering the last 2 years? Yes. Do you see for sale signs? Look, I'm going to tell you another story here. So when I was working with Coldwell Banker in 1990, it was kind of like now, 91, 92, agents like, oh, the market's difficult. You go to an office meeting, there'd be 6 people in the office meeting. You've heard me tell this story before. There was one company in town that was selling property. They would do deals like we did 38 deals last month. There was one in town. It was a Century 21, funnily enough. It was a very avant-garde broker. He built a building by the freeway on the 78 between Oceanside and Vista. 2-story building, tile roof. It was very elegant. And I was so fed up with people looking at me a lot like you're looking at me right now, going, can this really happen? And I was so fed up with it. Every Saturday at 8:30 in the morning for a month, I drove to the parking lot of that Century 21. And I sat in the parking lot, having come from an office meeting where people went, yeah, that won't for me. Yeah, I couldn't sell a house. Yeah, it's too difficult. I'd hear all of this drivel. I sat in that parking lot. Why did I sit in that parking lot? Does anybody know? Other than that, do you know why I sat in that parking lot? Because I watched buyers and sellers walking in and out of that office until I got so angry they weren't mine. I went out and knocked on doors until I made them mine. I had to break the myth. I had to shatter the ceiling that said the market is not good, you are controlled, you cannot succeed. We have people on this team telling other people on this team this won't work for you, and they just sit there. On this team, I should kick them all out. I don't need their money. I definitely don't need the negativity. I don't need the cancer. I sat there watching people buy real estate until I said, Andrew, what's different between you and them? You have 2 eyes, 2 legs, 2 hands, a mouth, MLS. Well, then it was a blue book. You've got everything that you need. What's stopping you? I want to ask you this today. What's stopping you selling 2 homes a month? Is it just flat, bloody laziness? Are you so broken that you cannot see the opportunity anymore? Guys, it's time to heal yourself, to come down off the cross where you're suffering from the battering of social media and stand up and walk again. Come down off the cross. Come down from the suffering. Stand up. Roll back the stone. Walk out of the tomb. Rise up and realize you're in a $1 trillion payout industry. Why isn't more of it yours? So the challenge I present to you is touch 10 people a week for a month. I absolutely guarantee you, unless you've got the worst breath this side of a pig in a trough, you will put a home in escrow. You believe in yourself enough for that? Will you put on your shoes? Will you put on your Nikes? Well, Andrew, I don't know who to touch. We had 18 people you can touch in the last 24 hours. We have 18,000 people that are active on Zillow who are assigned to us that we've not sold a home to, and you don't believe you can talk to 10? Guys, literally, all you have to do is get up out of here, go in there, sit down, put a stopwatch on your cell phone, pick up FUB, and start calling and start texting. That's literally all you need to do. So, 10 touches a week in the month of September. You're going to create opportunity. Now, look, I want you to hear something. What's the difference between somebody who is self-employed and an entrepreneur in real estate? Do you know what the difference is? I'm going to share you something that has plagued our industry for years. You want to hear it? Because we as agents think, oh, I need to do my work. The entrepreneur never thinks that way. So when I get up in the morning, I think, how can I create opportunity? 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 When your mind shifts from I need to get my work done between 1 and I understand, ladies, you got tons, you got to get the kids up, you got to drop them off at 8, you got to pick them up here, and then you got to get your nails done, you got to get your hair done. 2 o'clock, you got to pick them up again, you got to bring them back, you got to make sure they're close, you got to do the food, which is why you can do the whole business on your cell phone, because you can do it while you're baking a cake or while you're picking up your kids or while you're in the sports thing, right? My point is this. Do you see yourself as creating opportunity? When you create opportunity, who do you create opportunity for first? Tell me. Who do you create opportunity for first? On the feed here, join in with me. Who do you create opportunity for first? Tell me. Who? Very, very good. But I think the truth is, who do you create opportunity for first?
Yourself.
Second, who do you create an opportunity for? Client. Third, who do you create an opportunity for? Fourth, who do you create an opportunity for? Fourth, who do you create an opportunity for? Here it comes, is other people who can copy you. Let me ask you this. Are you good enough that people should copy you? Great. So now the next question is, if you face the truth and say, now I want to be good enough for people to copy me, are you one of those people? Yes, you are, because you're on the win team, 28 of you every day. Create opportunities. Stop seeing it as work. When do I get my work done? Okay, I need to time block. I mean, you've got trainers in real estate who taught us to time block so we can control how much time we work. No, guys, the way we have built this business is there's so much opportunity. All you have to do is familiarize yourself, which I'll do this afternoon with digital footprint. Touch your phone 18, 20 times a day, and you can have more opportunity than you can imagine. So 10 touches. All these touches will come right here. If you do these things right here, you'll have 20, 30, 40 touches a week. Your power tracker actions. Are you using your power tracker? Your property alerts. Do you set up a property alert for every customer? Again, I'll teach this afternoon. Your power doors, your power office open houses, right? Scroll down here. This month's mission, 10 buyer and seller conversations a week. We want to see 15 aqua, 15 green, and 5 purple. We're going to share with you again the link in the Zoom, and I need you to share the link also on Slack today. And there's a tracker in there. It says week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Do you believe in yourself enough to take that seriously? That you will go onto that tracker, and on that tracker each week you put down, I completed my 10, 10, 10, 10. Start counting. You touch 10 people a week, I absolutely guarantee you. You know why I know we need to do this? Because I'm looking at 200 to 300 spearheads a day, and 87 to 94% of the leads that I touch every day have only been touched once by a real estate agent. So I'm going to share with you. I want you to succeed. 38 of you succeeded last month. I want you to succeed, but understand what it takes to succeed in this. You've got to put your Nikes on. Right, I made a commitment, what I would do for the team this month, like I don't do enough already, so scroll down a little further. In September, I made a commitment on the Win team that I will provide 1,000 leads this month. They're going to provide 1,000 leads this month. In September, I'm going to train daily on exactly what to do to make money right now. I've done it so far Monday, Tuesday. And I'll be back Thursday and Friday. How to create your own contacts on $0 to $10 a day. How many of you would like your own contacts where you pay no split, right? Would you like that? Right? Okay. I'll teach you how to do that. How to unlock new home sales dollars. I made that promise for you 3 days ago. I originated 18 new home sales leads in the last 24 hours. I'm keeping my promise. I promised you I'd create 2,000 new company alerts, property alerts. Why do you go, well, how does that benefit me? You haven't figured that out yet? When there's property alerts, it goes into the activity channel. Where it's in the activity channel, the ISAs and offshore get it. They call the people in the activity channel and they drop those leads back into the WhatsApp. Now you've got opportunity. So by the way, this weekend I sat down. I wrote 4 new property alerts. I set up triggers for 4 new property alerts that will go out to 56,000 people starting this Saturday. I fulfilled my promise. I said I would give you hands-on property alert, full funnel training. I started that yesterday on Conversion Lab, and I'll do it again on Friday and again next week. And one other thing I said, I would teach you how to add value so more clients choose you. I will do my part. Put on your Nikes. Believe in yourself. Believe in the system. This is not a stunt and it's not a hack. This is your career. I want you guys, listen, to fight for your career. Break through the glass ceiling of unbelief. Get down off the cross where you're suffering. Roll back the stone where you're dying. And walk out and do what it takes to create opportunity for yourself and your family. How many of you are on board with this? Yes? So 6 people in this room are on board for it. And I think a lot of people online. This is why I started the Win team, right? I want to see 30 people on that Win team doing 2 to 3 deals a month. 30 people doing 3 is 90. 90 people doing those deals is 30 families that are prospering. Do you think I want to see 30 prospering families? I'm happy for the people whose wives make more money than them. I'm happy for the people who have money in the bank. I did not experience America like that for 3 decades. My experience of America didn't spoil me. I never got fat because I worked so hard I burned too many calories. My point is, my experience of America was you come to this country and you work. And when you work and you work a system intelligently, you prosper. Please prosper with us. Okay, can we get a link to that document we just had up? Yes, you can. By the way, all of this stuff, oh, that's admin asking that. Okay, yes, I will send that. Can you make a note of all the things that people want, and we'll send it out later on today, okay? By the way, lenders in the room, I want to share with you. You can literally come here. We make you a collaborator on 500 leads. There's nothing to stop you exploding your business. Exploding your business. But we haven't been taught that, have we? We've been taught to get enough in that we pay the bills. I want you guys to prosper. All right, I think you get the message. That's Perfect 10 Champion. I want to touch on a couple of other things here, 1054. Please go with me to TWT Agents. There's a success tracker. All right. So I just want to bring to your attention the Blitz leads that you can get 500 leads put into your account. By the way, in addition to those 500 leads, 50 leads, 10 times over, put into your account. A lot of people say to me, Andrew, I don't know what to say when I call these people. And in a minute, I'm going to show you my feed. I don't know what to say when I call to these people. So in TWT Agents, you go to Sales Scripts, which is under Agent Tools, and go to TWT Outbound Scripts. Tap on that. All right. Here's a very simple script for you. So for example, I saw yesterday 18 call center leads come in. Now let's just be clear what those call center leads are. First of all, the lead came in, guys, through Zillow or Realtor.com, and there was a live conversation with that buyer. None of them are email leads, not one of them. There was a live conversation. That means that client, went to Zillow, saw a property, tapped on schedule a tour. Zillow called them, introduced them to us. One of our ISAs talked to them and set an appointment. The agent went once, didn't do digital footprint, maybe it didn't work out well, didn't set them up on a property alert, and forgot them. We have 18,162 of those. So now we pay the call center to call those 18,000 people, and 18 to 25 of them a day say, I would like to speak to a real estate agent. Do you think that's somebody that you could possibly build business with? Here's the challenge, that because we're so muted and oppressed, we think, oh my God, I called them, see, it didn't work out. They didn't immediately say. It's like a guy who looks like me going to a church to meet a wife, and you speak to one girl once and you don't get married, and saying, see, this thing doesn't work, does it? Doesn't work. It's like going to the gym and doing one set of curls and going, I don't have curls for the girls. This doesn't work. How many men in America do that? Go once a month before a date to think pathetically that that woman will like them because they got a little bubble on the middle of their arm, but a brain that's the size of a microscopic pea, right? But they do a little turn. They even put a tattoo on the turn, right? And they think it's going to work. That's how stupid they think women are, right? So you understand my point here. You have the opportunity. What do you say to them? Here you go. Let's go to it. Scroll down. This is for outbound buyer calls, right? So let's say that you see in that call that it says Garden Grove. They want somebody to call them at 5 p.m., $800,000. Hi, this is Andy with the Warburton Team. I'm following up from a call you had with our marketing department. So if you take any lead from social media or from the call center, this is the script that you need to use. Don't start asking them the same questions. Think about it. When they came to Zillow, they said, I want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house in Redlands. right? The agent went up, showed them, disappeared, right? We have so many people every day say, yeah, somebody from your team showed me a property. I never heard from them again. They're telling our call center that. It's crazy. It's crazy. So then the call center calls back. What do you want? 4-bedroom, 2 baths. So when you call, you don't want to say to them, hey, this is Andy. What kind of home are you looking for? They're like, come on. I told Zillow. I told your ISA. I told your agent, and you're asking me again? Really? You don't need to do that. Hi, this is Aja. I'm following up on a call you had with our marketing department. I understand you're interested in homes in Redlands around 400,000. Is that correct? Right? Nice and friendly right at the beginning. Stay with me. Now it says restate and reassure, right? Watch this. Perfect. There are excellent opportunities in that price range right now. Let's go view some homes together. What day and time this week works best for you? Do you prefer weekdays or weekends? I'm listening to calls, guys, where some agents are on the phone for 5 to 10 minutes and they never ask for an appointment. They're just asking question after question after question after question. Aja, so I know you was talking about a 4 and 3 in Garden Grove, right? Look, I've got some time this afternoon. How about Saturday? I'm really looking forward to meeting you. Would you meet me if I called and said that to you? 100%. And I send you over a profile that shows that I've sold 600 homes in the last year, which our team has. 100%. Wouldn't you be excited? It's a very, very simple thing. So here's your script. Then confirm the appointment. I'm listening to calls, guys, and I love you, where you speak to somebody and you say, you've talked to them and it's going to be Saturday. Or yeah, okay, bye. When you wrap up the call, make sure you confirm it. Great. We're set, Doug. We're set for Saturday at 3. I'll confirm details by text immediately after our call. Scroll down. Now, once you've set the appointment, here's the key. Once you've set the appointment, after you've set the appointment, that's when you start to ask more information questions. Like, by the way, this is kind of how I would do it. Do you want to hear me, Jermaine? Jermaine, look, so we're good, mate, for Saturday, 10 o'clock, okay? And we're on 123 Avocado Street, okay? All right, so we're all set. You're in my calendar. I'm going to send you a text afterwards. Does Jermaine now know that we've got an appointment? Yes, right? Be specific. But after you've said that, by the way, Jermaine, just before I go, what was it you particularly liked about this area? Are there any must-have features that you must have? Now you're going into these questions. Go down to motivation. Why? The next question is, what's the main reason you're looking for a home right now? Finance question. Will you be purchasing with cash or will you be getting a loan? Next question. If the loan, let's connect you with one of my financial friends. Now look at your wrap-up. Are you going to ask all those questions? No. When do you ask those questions? So in this room and on the feed, I want to see who is listening to me. AI is going to do this starting October. Starting October, you're going to have all this training, and AI is going to call you, and we're going to find out, those of you who know, because we are going to originate 1,000 leads this month. We need to know like crazy who wants to follow up on those leads. So my question is this. After that initial call, hey, it's Andy, it's Aja calling from the marketing department. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. I understand you want to see a home in Garden Grove on Saturday at 10. Is that correct? Perfect. Okay, so let's meet at, and you set the appointment. After you've done that, you're going to go through a couple of information questions. Then you're going to come to the wrap up at the end. Perfect. I'm really looking forward to meeting you on Saturday. This is an exciting step. I think you'll love what we find together. Again, here it comes. This is Aja with the Warburton team. I'm committed to helping you find the right home. I'll see you on Saturday. Now, what this type of script, by the way, all the scripts, go back on the screen. You go, Andrew, how do I learn this? Right here, twtagents.com. Our marketing department's prepared it for you. You go to Agent Tools. Under Agent Tools, you go down to Scripts, Sales Scripts, and here's Inbound Scripts, here's Outbound Scripts for Zillow or Warburton Team leads. Does anybody have any questions?